Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for, continuing with us again on part 2 of the WREP cast. I'm your host, Low Failure 404, and the man to my left, Lucian Barrows, and the thing on my right, Scully, our new employee.
Well, let's put it this way. Scully is, he's a bonehead, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Some call him Scully, some call him Bones. I like to call him Wiggles, because they're on. Also, quick thing, I know this wasn't in our agenda, but that, for what it's worth, Wiggles actually the idea came from my character in our Pathfinder game we played on Saturday. I play a lawful evil cleric, and which is a little weird being a cleric and being evil, but the lawful side fits. And I recently acquired a skeleton friend who I decided to name Wiggles because I thought that sounds like a fun name for a skeleton.
It is. And me, I call him Bones because, for any of you Star Trek nerds out there like myself, you know Bones as the Doctor. His famous line is, "He's dead, Jim."
He's dead, Jim. And damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a
whatever.
Not a toolbox.
Pretty
it could
much.
be anything.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing is, I just don't think people will understand the Bones reference because it's a skeleton. I think most people will probably think, oh, you named him Bones because he's a skeleton. Honestly, most people wouldn't get it.
And that's what you thought.
I didn't get it. I'm smarter than you.
Yeah, right. He thinks he's smarter than me.
There's a reason why you're called Low Failure. Now, okay,
I think
we'll
it's
leave
a
that.
design flaw, and I
Design flaw or creatively intuitive? Gives you personality.
Okay, he's got a point.
But anyway, you know what? I tell you what. If anybody's really listening to this part, go ahead and give us your ideas on what to think. The options we've got so far are Bones, Scully, and okay, so it's Bones, like Bones from Star Trek, Scully, like Agent Scully from X-Files, Wiggles from our Pathfinder game, and a friend of ours that was here today recommended Samantha because it'd be nice to have a girl on the podcast sometime because, like you said, God knows we can't get any others on here. So
yeah, my woman keeps leaving. Oh, I'm tired. That's kind of like the most measly excuse, kind of like when they don't want to have sex.
Yeah,
they go, oh, I have a headache.
Yeah,
and it's like,
okay.
Come on!
In all fairness, you weren't trying to have sex with her on the podcast. In all fairness, she was kind of sleeping on the desk next to you, so it's kind of...
I know, but
so
still.
I kind of think she was tired.
Yeah.
It's a good thing she moved. We were going to put Wiggles there on top of her.
Yeah, I was going to have Bones straddling her.
So,
you know.
But anyway, now that we've got Wiggles there out of the way, Wiggly Bone Scully out of the way.
And if I have time, I have a story about me and Bones.
Alright. We'll see what we can do towards the end. Alright, keep that in mind.
That's why I said later. We have things to finish.
Okay, anyway, part 1, we left off with to talk about aliens! And not the type that, inappropriate. I mean, okay, I don't know if they all did, so I don't want to...
I don't want to find out.
Personally, I don't mind if they do experiments.
I know the IRS likes doing that to people, but no.
Yeah, it's already bad enough we got it here on Earth. We don't need them doing it to us, too. Look, dude, you don't have to stick things up my ass. If you want to know about me, talk to me. I'm very open.
Yeah.
I don't like things up my butt.
Facebook. My God.
I don't like things up my butt. That's the first thing you should know about me. So yeah. But anyway, since we were on the topic
of him on that.
Since we were on the topic of strange,
oh boy,
and interesting and slightly controversial to some degree, right?
Oh boy.
We're gonna move on to let's see, cryptozoology. Also known as, we're going to talk about cryptids. Also known as, we're going to talk about Bigfoot and his buddies that quote exist out there.
Oh, now, okay. I get it.
I'm gonna start with this. There's let's talk about Bigfoot himself real quick. What do you think about Bigfoot?
Big, bulky.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting way to put it. Valid. I remember Octane Hunter made a joke about that one time.
Everything that is described about Bigfoot, I saw Star Wars, and they're like, Chewie! And I'm like, okay, we had Bigfoot right there. That you know, I just don't think he goes, ah, you know.
Yeah, usually it's more of a primal scream than a gurgling sound. But, okay. Good enough way to put us a little bit more serious, but I'll take it. What can I expect from us, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, no, but like, I don't know. I don't really know what to think, honestly, about it.
Which is fair. I'm with you on that kind of. I'd like to believe. I'll put it this way. I'd like to believe in the possibility. There's been enough, quote, eyewitnesses of it. I've heard from a man that I consider up in movie and my stepfather, who's claimed to have several encounters with Bigfoot in a nearby area. Near-ish.
Really?
I'll go into those later.
Oh boy.
I'm not at liberty to talk about those to invisible people right now.
Oh,
Maybe some
sorry,
other time.
invisible people.
But yeah, but some close calls. One, he was apparently, according to him, literally like a quarter inch away from getting his head taken off by a Bigfoot when he was a kid. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's been a baby.
No, I don't know, like 6, 7, 8, whatever. Old enough to run around outside and play. He used to live on an old farmhouse, all that, out in the country where there's a wooded area nearby, blah, blah, and according to him, the Bigfoot came close and kind of swung for him, and he was trying to run away once he noticed that he was standing there in front of like a 8-foot tall gorilla man thing. Wow. But that's about all I can go into detail with, really, because I don't know where it's at. I don't remember where it's at. Anyway, my idea on Bigfoot is I'd love to believe, I believe that there's a possibility that Bigfoot and things like could exist. There's a lot of land across the world that we still haven't discovered, even more underwater areas in the ocean that we haven't discovered and actually explored yet. So there's lots of places things like that to hide. I showed you an article the other day about someone who found a new species of lizard. Yes, I agree. They look like snakes. They look like snakes.
Only in California would they find a snake and go, it's a lizard.
Now, look, I didn't read through the article that much, but I know there's usually some sort of defining traits between a regular gecko and a snake. So I don't know if they found those traits. I just found it slightly interesting. The head was a little bit different for what you'd see on a snake. It looked kind of gecko-ish, but
it was still a snake.
But yeah, it was still a snake. But a snake is a reptile.
If it slithers on the ground, it's a snake.
Yes, but apparently don't try to tell the scientists that because they'll, I don't know, nerd slap you, which, as we both know, as nerds, it doesn't hurt very much.
Not really. I'll geek slap them, which
doesn't hurt very much either. It's about the same.
No, actually, if I geek slap somebody, it's usually me picking up a broken laptop and just slapping somebody across the face.
I think you're giving yourself too much credit. Maybe a keyboard though.
Okay,
like in Wanted. That is about stuff. Fuck you. I think that was what it was. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Wow. But I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that there's a possibility of things like that exist because there's still a lot of things we're exploring. Years ago, they found a cave in Yellowstone where they found 50 new species of insects. We're still finding new species of bottom-dwelling ocean fishies and things like that. Some of them are ugly as shit. They really are.
And yet, some of them are beautiful.
Indeed.
Some of them are like, you just...
Now, one of the species they found in Yellowstone a few years back was a mixture between a spider and a scorpion.
Oh.
I'd step on that shit in a heartbeat.
Hell yeah.
But I'd want to make sure I had a good thick boot because I don't know which end was which.
Give me a good steel toe boot.
Yeah. Because I don't know which side was a scorpion and which side was a spider.
Right.
So it's kind of, you don't want to kick it in the ass with the scorpion side.
No.
But you don't exactly want to kick it in the face with the spider side.
Well, I would. I mean...
Yeah, I'd be more likely to do that. Especially with a steel toe boot.
Yes.
Why not just... It'd be great if you heard that little dink sound on it, too.
Oh,
It'd just be more meaningful. But the idea is they're finding things like that all over the place nowadays. In more recent news, it was a couple months ago, I think, they found it's a new type of... Well, it's still a slug, but it's a new type of slug. It's a fluorescent pink slug. doesn't glow. Its color is just fluorescent pink. It was
It's flamboyant?
very. It was disgustingly beautiful. Kind of like, you know what? I'm not going there.
Yeah, let's not, no.
Let's just say genitals.
Okay. Right on.
That sounds. It's kind of a pinkish color. Peach.
Oh boy.
It's still slug-like. Moving on. Wait, were we still talking about the slug? Or never mind. Moving on.
Next topic.
But yeah, okay,
Back to
so
what we were talking about.
So yeah, we got the idea of the cryptids, cryptozoological finds and all that, like Bigfoot, like the Chupa Chihuahua, whatever, Chupacabra. I know, I'm making fun. It looks like an oversized retarded Chihuahua. Let's face it. I mean, now that they've actually found what they believe is the Chupacabra, it's
Serious?
You haven't seen that?
No.
Basically,
I've not seen this.
they've found this type of canine animal that suddenly emerging that they believe is what the Chupacabra has been all this time. It is a type of unknown breed of dog.
Serious?
So, yeah, it's generally, I think, either hairless or really, really short hair, elongated face, like longer than any normal dog, kind of a head too big for its body kind of deal, usually scrawny, kind of Chihuahua looking, but taller. It's actually...
Poor thing.
Yeah, I know. I look at it and I feel bad. It's like, God, what's...
I'd be mad.
What's
too
wrong?
If I look that bad.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, think about how hard it's been to find one, right? It's like, oh, of course I'm going to hide. Look at me.
Really. Look at me.
Thing, man. So...
I know as soon as you're going to find me, you're going to put me down because I'm that
You
ugly.
think I have names, but I don't. This is how I look. But yeah, I mean, there's some, creatures out there that I don't have an explanation for that other people have seen, like the Jersey Devil. I don't know. Stuff like that. There's been plenty of different sightings of different creatures throughout the world.
Like Nessie, over in Ireland, is it?
I think Ireland is Scotland. One of the I think it's
Yeah.
Ireland. Over in Loch Ness. But yeah, well, not just Nessie. There's one up in Canada called Ogopogo, and
Did not know that.
And there's one down in Lake Champlain called Champ. There's apparently 3 different bodies throughout the world. Now, the original sightings of Nessie have been proven to be false. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Serious?
I'm gonna go ahead, or at least the original pictures that say stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Nessie, not a thing. However, the idea of Champ and Ogopogo, I haven't seen any real evidence for or against, so it's another one of those possibilities. So I don't really know about that one. It's still kind of up in the air like Bigfoot. It'd be neat to throw Bigfoot up in the air. Like, hey, we found him! Get the blanket! Wee! Wee!
Oh.
Then, as it comes back down that last time, we, wrap him up and tie him in tight and then drink him. And take him in for science! For science! So, but, yeah, I mean, no, granted, I wouldn't want him to kill Bigfoot for as long as possible. Because it would have to happen. But, yeah, you know how it is. It's science. For science. I know, there's all sorts of different regions that have their own kind of cryptozoological creatures. That there's what the Chupacabra looks like. His belly's a little distended because it's kind of dead, but, that's ugly. Really. But that's pretty much what they look like. They are hideous little bastards. But yeah, like I said, there's all sorts of different regions around the world that have their own myths and legends and lore and all that stuff. That some of these things might be true. Some of these animals, we'll say, or creatures would be a better word for it. They might have existed at one point, and now they just exist through legend because they might have been hunted out. And then there's then we got the idea of there's some people that would call certain animals that we know existed cryptozoological finds, and people claiming that they still exist, they've still seen them, and blah blah blah, and things like that. Well, usually when they're supposed to be extinct, you don't see them anymore.
Right.
So when people start claiming they see them, they claim that as cryptozoology. However, there's been cases where they were completely wrong, because science beats science. like the idea of the coelacanth. You remember what that one is? It's the missing link between fish and humans.
Oh yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah, well, we're not going to go into that.
Yeah.
But it
We
was
could, but we won't.
supposed to have been extinct millions and millions of years ago, and then one day a random fisher caught one in Brazil because it was dying. It floated up towards the surface, and like, oh hey,
Maybe that was the last one.
no, they've found found a shit ton more in lower parts of the ocean. They stay down towards the bottom as much as possible.
So they weren't extinct.
They were just hiding, which is why I put, the possibility of Bigfoot and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Something that could exist. We just don't know. We thought the coelacanth was gone.
Well,
We
yeah.
thought that the Tasmanian tiger was gone. And you'll have to look it up sometime. I don't know
Yeah.
how to describe it. But, not too far from the truth cover. But cuter and more vicious.
Oh.
But it's from Australia. It was thought to be extinct completely for couple hundred years, I think. 100 or 200 years. I can't remember for sure. It's been a while since I looked into it. A couple years ago, they finally found one.
Well,
Yep. They finally found a Tasmanian tiger.
That's absolutely
alive,
funny.
moving, all that shit. And it's like, oh, well, look at that. There might be some out in the bush somewhere still. Sorry, my Australian accent didn't quite kick in there. But, nevertheless, the idea is that kind of thing can exist still. So we don't know. It's wholeheartedly possible that big feats might be out there, that the Jersey Devil might scarily be a thing, which brings me to another topic. There is someone, or a group of someone's, I can't remember for sure, it's been a while since the article, a few months, that's trying to, through genetic engineering, cloning, whatever, all that fun stuff.
Oh, great.
They're trying to bring back some extinct species, some of which are from some dinosaur-esque periods. Not exactly the brightest idea, but
Remember Jurassic Park?
funny enough, that's the first thing I said as soon as I heard about it. But they're also bringing back something like the dodo. They want to bring it back, which I think would be neat because I want to pet because they're kind of cute in an idiot sort of way.
Yeah.
It'd be like having a pet of some of the people I know.
Or like your dog.
Yeah, my dog can be pretty dumb sometimes. I love her though. But yeah, so, which leads us to the topic we wanted to talk about, there's nothing in the news recently that I can think of, but the idea of cloning and genetic engineering. I want to kind of get your take on what you think about that. Like, what's your idea of the ethics for cloning? Let's start with, we can separate them, so let's start with cloning. What do you think about cloning? Is it, like, let's get more specific. Instead of just cloning organs and body parts and anything like that, what about actually cloning people?
Oh, man, I don't know. That kind of gets into a gray area.
That's the point.
Well, like with people like me, Christians who believe that, our bodies have souls and whatever, we believe that when we die, if we've accepted Christ, that we go to heaven, and if not, well, you can finish the rest. The point is, though, is that we believe that people have eternal souls that, is a big part of makes them who they are. And I guess the problem I see is that if you go and clone, say, me, does that mean that, yeah, you're shaking your head like,
Don't wanna.
Oh God, no. Anyway, like, say, me, if you clone me, well, does that clone possess a soul? Does that clone possess that essence that makes me me? And if that's so, then how do you reconcile with that?
To be honest, I'll give you my opinion on your thought there.
Alright.
I agree with you about the idea of the human soul to some degree. I'll get that in a moment. Though I don't think, based on what I believe, I don't think that if you make just a regular clone without transferring things, I'll talk about that in a moment again, that clone will actually have your soul. Now, I look at the soul from a scientific point of view and a religious point of view. I believe we have one. I absolutely believe that it exists. But I believe in the idea that the soul is the energy we have in the body. It contains our memories, it contains our thoughts, our personality, and everything that is mentally about us.
Right. No, I do agree with that.
So, I believe...
Right now, if scholars are listening, they're cringing, but you know what? Bear with it.
Well, most scholars are self-described scholars, so shut up. Go to hell. That's my favorite thing tonight. Go to hell.
Apparently. Dang.
I ain't in the mood for it. But,
wow.
But the idea that I have is
Sorry,
that...
God.
Hey, look, I'm just getting rid of the heretics, alright? You set me here for a reason, dude, and I'm trying to figure it out, so this is my best shot right now. Alright, we talk sometimes.
Yes.
We're not the tightest, but we get along.
He puts up with them.
Indeed, like the rest of the world. And you find them. Love you, invisible people. Thank you. But yeah, so I believe that if we can transfer that internal energy, we're transferring the soul, but that second body can't have that energy, because if you lose any of that energy, you're losing part of yourself.
Right.
So if it took any, it'd only be the other side of you. It'd be like having an evil twin, basically. Here's you, like an evil twin that shares the same thoughts and all that stuff. Here's you, the good twin. Here's you, the evil twin. So it'd be like, oh, here's the original you. You've got all the weak traits, and here this guy is with all the dominant traits and all that stuff. So,
or here's another trippy thought: quantum entanglement.
Cloning?
Well, if I have something exactly the same that vibrates at the exact same frequency, if I have a brain that fires at the exact same time, then could, in theory, your soul exist in two places at once? Or be, kind of like quantum, like I think I've explained this before, quantum entanglement. You have two particles, whatever one does, if you have two particles and they are connected through, I don't even know how, but they're connected. If I do one to one, the other has to do the same. If I do one to the other has to do the same. So it's two different particles, but they're doing the exact same thing.
Honestly, I don't know about that one. It's possible, but I was trying to keep from getting on the quantum level this time. But
you know me.
I know. You're just going to go wherever. But it's fine. It's what we do.
It is.
I can't guarantee that you're right or wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it to that degree.
Dealing
with energy in general, you never know what can happen. There's still a lot of possibilities that it can do. It's kind of like what I believe with ghosts is it's not actually someone's spirit or soul. It's the idea that their energy was left somewhere, so they left a mark somewhere where it could be. And that's just replaying. Now, if that's the same energy that can make a soul, then it can quite possibly form into its own soul. And in which sense, yes, your soul could exist in a different area. I mean, I've heard of a story where there was a ghost account of two ghosts get out of a ghost cab, they start fighting, and then one ghost guy wins, and he crawls back in the cab, they leave, the other ghost pulls out his ghost pack of cigarettes, smokes a ghost cigarette, throws the ghost pack onto the ground, the pack will sit there for, I think the longest was 3 days, before it just disappears.
Wow.
And then, but eventually, the other ghost guy, the loser, he leaves and just kind of disappears going down the street. The ghost that loses the fight every time The couple that lived in this house that kept witnessing this over and over and over again for about 4, 5, 6 times maybe, they did a little bit of research. The ghost that always loses, that guy was still alive when they were seeing the ghost fight.
What?
Yeah. So basically what that is, that helps my theory of you leave energy somewhere. And depending on the severity of the event, depending on the severity of the event, depends on what might happen next. And there's a chance that it could gain its own sentience over time, because that's what, and based on my theory, that's what the soul is it's the energy, and it can leave that so it can become its own soul, which is where intelligent haunts would come from. But we're not on ghosts right now. I just wanted to put that theory out there because you brought into it. Okay. We'll get back to souls in a moment. There's something else we want to talk about on that. Really low-colored ones too. Genetic engineering. What do you think about that? And I'm talking more than just me. Like, let's say, like me and number 4's idea. We want cat girls, not the furry type. We just want, regular human-looking girls with cute cat hair.
My first thought, I'm a Trekkie, is con. You have, I know you're not into all that, like
but I know con. I get where you're going with this.
Okay, those of you who don't know, in Star Trek, the actual Star Trek history, not J.J. Abrams' reboot of it, the actual Star Trek history, 1996, they figure out genetic engineering. They re-engineer humans to be, I guess like super soldiers.
More or less.
They have superior strength, intelligence, everything way above board.
Cockiness.
Yeah, and so they pretty much get to the point where they enslave people. Like Khan even talks about, in Star Trek 2, they have power over millions. Now, I'm not talking about Into Darkness, I'm talking about 1982 Star Trek 2. Anyway, that's kind of the bad thing I see, because if take instance me. I have something called cerebral palsy, right? Now, if they had genetic engineering, I may wind up getting all that reversed. I may choose to have my brain redone, strengthened in different areas that I lack. Even though if I may never have this come up in my life, that I probably would be the exact same way. But still, if genetic engineering was a thing, you could go in, you could get rid of all these traits, ADD, ADHD, and other people. Well, what I mean though is that once you start though, then you can pretty much do like what the Germans were trying to do, build the superior race, Okay, well, I want blue eyes, blonde hair, I want my kid to be, a basketball player. Oh, well, we've identified that he might have this. Kill him, in 50 years. Well, we'll just go and remove this and replace it with something stronger, we'll take superior intelligence because he's only going to have a IQ level of 120. We want him to have an IQ level of 150, we want him to, dexterity of a cat, just something crazy stupid. And next thing you know, it's like, what have we done? Because, you've basically done just what they did in Star Trek. They tried making people better, and the better people saw everybody else and said, "You are a puny thing. I will control you."
Yeah. I mean, you know, I agree with those problems. The other thing I see is like, I wish I could say that us as a species wouldn't go as far as that to like, hey, you know, we're gonna perfect the human genome kind of deal. More of the idea of, you know, okay, if somebody's sick, we can use genetic engineering to get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. We're not going to use it to up this person's IQ, but we're going to use it to get rid of cancer, AIDS, blah, blah, whatever.
Well,
all
yeah.
the things. But now the sad thing is, you're right. We won't just do that. We will use it to, in the worst possible scenario, where we make it superhuman, so to speak.
And it's sad because there's so
and then-
much good that could actually come from it.
Yeah. But as far as I care, I don't give a shit. I want to see genetic engineering happening mostly for the case of I want a cat girl, man. You know me, I'm an anime fan. It's something you see in anime from time to time.
I want, if he gets Catgirl, I want a Tweetlet.
I'll see what we can do. I'll talk to number 4. He's head of that department. We'll look into it.
Okay.
But his and my needs comes first.
We might need some more equipment. So if any of the invisible people out there have funds, like how much do you think we need? Probably 50 million?
I'd go with about 100 million or so.
100 million.
Just be safe.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go that far, we also need some more for cloning. I have an idea for immortality.
And
Since as far as I'm concerned, our souls are made of energy, along with our consciousness and all that stuff, we can totally find a way to transfer that onto a storage device.
that might take another 50 million.
Yeah, have it stored in multiple places throughout the world, nice and safe and secret, and then, you know, we can just always pop back in a new body.
Yes.
So
we'll be like Cylons.
kind of, but minus the robotic thing, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe?
Not a Battlestar guy,
Hopefully.
per se. So, but yeah.
You missed out on something good.
I thought about watching, but I don't
But
want to. We're not gonna.
at least you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, I know what a Cylon is. I'm a Cylon. You want?
Wow.
Yeah, I saw a few episodes, right? So I'm not completely in the dark about that, but mostly.
I'm proud of
that
you.
reminds me. The chick that plays Starbuck.
Yeah.
She plays in the new Riddick movie.
Oh, awesome.
She's a total badass in that movie.
Oh, well, of course.
And you get to see the boob.
Oh,
Can't promise
boy.
it's hers, you know, CG and all that.
Oh.
But whatever, it's boob.
It probably
I'll take it.
is. I'm just...
Yeah, but anyway,
We can only hope, right?
indeed. But anyway, like I said, we had something to talk about souls. This one falls into Load Failures topic list, we'll say. I don't know about so much as the main, but topic list. So I'm going to let him go ahead and take this away for the moment, and you know, we can just we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah. I was cruising around on the internet, like I like to do, and I ran across, something weird on YouTube. Guy from Russia talking about how he figured out how to, take a picture of souls. He talked about how he could do this, take a picture of souls, like as they left bodies and things like that, and yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah, okay, what are your actual thoughts on that? Like, what do you think?
Well, okay, what we know about energy, that, energy of any type, you have different levels of energy, different types of radiation. Light is, you have your, have visible light, infrared light, all the way into the X-ray, ultraviolet, X-ray spectrums, things like that. So it's not that implausible that somebody could actually do this. I don't know. I couldn't find enough evidence really to support this. I mean, here's the article. Or a.
Sorry, we don't have the best technology to work with at the moment.
Yeah.
Please buy us things.
We have.
I'm not begging. No, not at all.
We have an iMac.
Yeah. Well,
by the way, this is not sponsored by Matt or Apple
anybody
or anybody.
For God's sake, someone sponsor us.
Please.
Money's nice.
It is.
Indeed.
We like it.
We love it.
I
want some more of it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, giggity goo.
Let's do them a favor and not read an article to them.
Oh, well, no.
I mean, we can link dump it and all
but
that.
we'll link dump this article, but it just talks about how what they did and the research they've done, stuff like that, and I don't know. It might be true. I don't know why it wouldn't be true, really, because you can take a picture, of almost anything. It seems nowadays.
Actually, there is a newer ghost hunting tool that I've seen in the past couple years. That it's been around for the past couple years. What it is actually. It's not in the infrared spectrum. I can't remember what spectrum it is off the top of my head. But it's in a light spectrum that our eyes can't normally see in ever. And this camera takes pictures in it. Usually they set it up on a constant thing, so it keeps taking pictures over and over and over again. Which leaves a lot, so you have to sit there and look through. But nevertheless, it seems to get some pretty decent results sometimes in certain haunted areas. So I believe with kind of cameras like that, it's possible. It's kind of the same idea that I was talking about earlier, like the soul is energy, and if you can take a picture of energy, it's like, hey, you can take a picture of the soul. And we've seen pictures of ghosts, so to speak, and videos. I'd say if it's possible to get pictures of that, it's possible to get pictures of the soul itself.
And we have done some of our own
ghost hunting.
Yes.
Which is entertaining.
And
have some weird things happen.
Weird.
Nope, wait. I was going to tell a story, but I remembered. Wait for the Halloween episode for that one.
Yes.
Halloween episode might be a little bit longer because we have some stories we want to tell.
And I think you will like it,
I think some are pretty good. Let's put it this way. My stepdad's place has a ghost. I've come across a hellhound at a ghost house, and we've seen some freaky shit.
Yeah,
so
very much. Like lights coming on and off at random.
Okay, I can figure that.
We
need to get number 4 on that one.
Yes,
he has a lot.
Got a lot.
He is a magnet for that shit. So,
right. Alright.
But yeah. So that's soul pictures. We got some soul up in here.
Yeah.
So, which I think is neat. It doesn't do much good for the person that just died, but it's a nice memory for your family.
Yeah, really.
Unless you're good at out-of-body experiences, in which case it's like, there you go, right?
Yeah.
Hey, take a picture. I'm flying.
What? Take a picture. Did you get it? No. I kept telling you to. I couldn't hear you. Damn it.
But yeah, that's the idea of, technology evolving. You never, with the newer...
I had my Bluetooth on. Couldn't hear me while I was doing my out-of-body.
I'll tell you what, we might talk about the idea of out-of-body experiences next week, just for
Oh, boy.
I've never had one. I've tried, but never had one. I don't know. We'll go into it. I know a little bit more about it.
I actually have.
But I doubt it. Well, okay, actually, I don't doubt it, but next week.
Next week.
It'll be
and
interesting.
it is.
Make them clamor for more.
Yes, it's very glam. Wow.
But yeah, like I was saying, with technology evolving, we can do more stuff like this. It says here they use a very specific photography method to take the picture. So with technology, it's quite possible to do a lot of things these days.
Yeah, it is. And speaking of technology, guys, a little bit. I want to talk to you about October 18th, which, if any of you have not been keeping up on what's going on, Microsoft is releasing their Surface 2. It's going to it is going to have 8.1 in it, which I hope the final product has a little bit more to offer than the preview.
You mean Windows 8.1?
Yeah, Windows 8.1.
Okay, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the start button.
They've got that already.
I know, you showed me that. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, so 8.1, Windows 8.1 for, believe it or not, they're gonna try RT, which I don't know why. And they're gonna have the Pro version. This time they are bringing out for the Pro, or for the RT, believe it or not, it's actually more affordable this time. The RT is starting at $350 for a 32 gig model, and will not have a cover included, which I don't know why. And a 64 gig that will start at 800. Well, I guess actually the 32 gig will start at 500. The 64 gig RT will start at 600. The Pro, a little bit, obviously a whole lot better. They actually have options for you nowadays. It will start at 800. But I don't know why they say 800, because a 64 gig will be 900. Sources say that there will be a 128, a 256, and a 512 model available. These are going to be 1,000, 1,300, and 1,700. And this is according to sources from CNET. So, you know, if you guys want to read more, you can go on there. And my bad, it will, the Surface will be available October 22nd. I misspoke. I apologize.
Pretty close to Halloween. Which,
yeah. So
go out, buy a Surface 2.
It may
listen to our podcast.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too.
This broadcast not brought to you by Microsoft or CNET.
Yep, at all.
Damn it.
But if you want to sponsor us, please do.
I don't know if Microsoft will like us.
They might.
Maybe Apple might like us.
Maybe.
Because we kind of beat up Microsoft a bit.
Only because they kind of deserve it once in a while.
Yeah, I think I'm not.
I mean, but we kind of beat on Apple a little bit because it's
Kind of deserve it once in a while.
Yeah, they really do. I miss Steve Jobs. He did a good job. No pun literally intended. So yeah, that's my new Surface news, or news that just hit the
There
Surface.
you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the tech report from Low Failure 404.
Yes.
Now you can wake up.
Yes. And coming from Lucy and Barrows, 405. And for anybody who knows what I'm talking about, awesome. If you don't, look that error code up. You'll like it. He is not.
I don't know what it means. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I just like to speculate. 405 means like total awesome badass.
He wishes. Alright, guys.
I don't know, wishes, dreams, or a couple of different things there. But, you know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of whatever, I do whatever I want. Anyway, I have one last little thing.
Oh, yeah.
Want to bitch about, kinda. This might only apply to me,
Oh, boy.
because I know you're not an anime kind of guy.
Not really.
However, there's something I want to get off my chest. Let's start with
Your
this.
hair?
Well, yeah, it's like a whole other head of hair down there. It's kind of nasty.
Yeah, you're
actually,
not
no,
near
screw that.
like a Wookiee.
It's manly.
No, I'm like a freaking sweater, dude.
That's right, we're flashing our man at each other. Oh, look at that. Look, it doesn't even go straight down the middle properly, and you're totally bald on the side. I got full-on coverage, dude.
Yeah, but
I got hair that goes from the top of my head around and back to the top of my head.
Oh, whatever. He thinks he's a Wookiee or something.
No, I think I'm Bigfoot's relative.
Oh, see, I'm just a human sweater.
I got the sweater, the sweatpants.
I got the hair where it counts. It's all good.
I'm hairy underwear.
Oh,
that's really awkward.
Yeah.
When I go as the naked Bigfoot for Halloween.
Whoa, there's
Nobody wants to spend Halloween.
a lot of TMI happening.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Anyway, gonna get to my topic real quick because this will probably be the last topic because we're running into the 40-some odd minute again. So whatever.
That wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so the topic is, obviously, like I was saying, anime! Because it's something that I'm passionate about. I love it. It's good writing, whether people realize it or not. I don't think enough people give it a chance, but that's not the topic this time. The topic that pisses me off like no tomorrow is the idea that there's companies out there that'll buy different animes, or buy the license, I should say, up from Japanese companies, and then never really do anything with them. They don't do any dub work. For those of you who don't know what dub work is, where have you been? Dub work is basically voiceovers. Voice actors do voiceovers. That's what you get for the cartoon movies that you see in theaters or video games or anything like that. It's voiceover work. And dub just means that we're voicing over the Japanese version, essentially. That's not a good way to put it, really, but I can't think about it right now. I'm too pissed off.
I'm pretty on track about it, though.
But I'm irritated, though, because the idea is there's companies out there that'll acquire this list of all sorts of different good animes, and those animes will never see any dub work. Because these companies think, oh, that's a great idea. We can just, sit here and say, hey, people will still buy it. And people will. The best example of this was a company bought up their first anime a couple years ago. An anime called Toradora, which is an anime that I watched probably about 5 years ago, maybe. Loved it. Fell in love with it. Helped get me through a rough time in life. And I got number 4 to watch it, and another friend of ours to watch it, and they both fell in love with it, and the characters too, because it was really funny, and then the second half was really dramatic. But we were, I should all say, very disappointed when we found out, oh, this company in America finally bought it. Yeah, oh shit, they're never going to dub it. They sat there and said it'll probably never be dubbed by them, or anybody. So if it has to get dubbed, it has to be acquired, the license has to be acquired by somebody else, which means somebody has to convince that company to sell the license. What irritates me and irks me even more is that this company since then has acquired several more licenses to series that I'm actually a fan of and will now never get to see dubbed. There's a bit of a war sort of between the hardcore dub fans and the hardcore sub fans, which I think is ridiculous. Both sides are great. I like my dubbed anime because I like sitting there and being able to, let something play in the background that I'll enjoy, like anime, while I'm doing something else, like playing a game, doing a little research for the cast here, or something like that. And then if I feel like just filling up some time before I go to bed, I'll watch an episode or two of an anime that has subtitles still. So it's kind of, it's, that part is like, I get it, some people like what they like. I like both, but I prefer that some things be dubbed. The series Toradora, again, I loved it to death. Really wanted to see it get dubbed. Because part of the fun is getting to see who they cast as the voice actor or actress for each character. And it's kind of a thing of, do I agree, do I disagree? The unfortunate thing is sometimes the Japanese company keeps some control over that kind of thing, and actually says, oh, well, you know, we don't like this person for it, but we like this person for it. And there's been times where that's been a horrible mistake. So, where the voice just didn't fit the character one bit. I've seen it several times. But I think what irritates me the most about all that is, honestly, is there's other animes out there that I've seen that have gotten dubbed, and I thought, wow, that anime was like some of the stupidest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. Much as a fan of anime as I am, I've seen those. So it kind of pisses me off to see, like, oh, hey, this one that's stupid as shit has, specifically there's one called Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. It's a stupid anime. And it got dubbed. Whereas other great animes, because it got bought up by a dumbass company that does usually do video game work, so they have voice actors' phone numbers. They can get a hold and say, hey, we want you to, and they obviously have access to a recording studio somewhere.
Right.
It's like, hey, we would like you to guys, to try to audition for these roles and blah, blah, blah. Come in, but no. No, we're just going to keep all these up. We're not going to dub a damn one of them. You guys, you fans can suck it. We don't give a shit. Buy our video games. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bad business because they're not giving the fans what they want.
Yeah.
I think it's just ridiculous because there's just so many people out there that love dub as much as they love sub. And there's plenty of people out there that love both.
But if people are out there still buying it, though, the company that got it are still getting kickbacks on those copyrights and trademarks that they bought up.
That's kind of the stupid part is people who want to watch it just subbed, they're going to buy it subbed from Japan because most anime companies in Japan, when they make the DVD, they usually make it with subtitles from it. And that's not always, but it happens. So they're not always guaranteed to make money off of just selling the sub version because it might already, people who might already buy it sub might have already bought it subbed from Japan.
Oh, well, that could make sense.
And when it comes down to it, if I want to sit there and watch one of my favorite animes with subtitles, I got the internet. So, I know several websites that I can watch that shit on. If I'm going to buy an anime here in the United States, I want it dubbed. Because I want it to be something I can just pop in, let play while I do something else. That's why I like watching some animes on Netflix, even though their selection is kind of bleh sometimes.
They're getting better.
With anime, I mean.
Oh.
Their anime selection was doing good, then it went down, and it was doing good, then it went down. I haven't even checked for a while to see what it's gone to. I don't know if there's anything really good on it anymore or not.
I have no idea.
At one point they took off my favorite show, so it kind of pissed me off.
Which one's that now?
It's a show called Negaba. I watched that shit religiously, like literally every day because I had nothing better to watch on there. Because I was like, I need some background noise. Up on Negaba again. Alright. And it worked. I may have learned most of the lines of that show, even if I wasn't paying attention most of the time. It was funny. There were parts that still made me laugh my ass off, even the 30th time I played it in my lifetime. But yeah, I mean, there's a few animes that are my go-tos that I'll sit there and just pop on because I'm like, hey, this is funny. I know this series. I know what they're saying. I don't have to pay complete attention, and it's just something on in the background. I do the same thing for some movies, music, whatever, Like, I don't know how many times I've listened to Shinedown's last 3 albums. Which brings us to what I'm going to say is our last topic, is yet another question from Ask Reddit, and waiting for Logan to bring it up so that we can read it off to you. And it is, what was the first band you ever listened to religiously? We want you guys to answer this one too if you're listening. You can hit us up with it on our Twitter, on our Facebook, or on the comment section of the YouTube channel. So as usual, I'm going to start this off with you. What was the first band you ever listened to religiously?
Metallica.
Boo.
Oh, come on. I
think we've been over this, but
wait.
Everything after the Black Album sucked.
Well, okay. I somewhat agree with that.
S&M had a few good songs.
Yes.
Saint Anger. I think Metallica got to the point of saying, they were just kind of said, you know what, we can put out shit and they'll listen to it.
I quit listening to Metallica after S&M.
I didn't listen to it much at that
I
time.
really thought they did a good job on S&M.
It was neat having an orchestra with all the
Yeah,
songs. It was
that
pretty cool. I was into
actually,
that.
and they did the good ones too. They didn't just do, the ones that sounded totally like shit.
Yeah, that was Saint
Yeah.
Anger.
Well, and there were a few other ones before Black
Yeah.
and Unload, and but like what was it? Unload. Oh my gosh. I felt like I was listening to like folk music.
Nice.
Like the old it kind of gave you the old 1970s country feel.
Wow.
I
did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to that.
Well, I mean, but that's kind of how you felt, You felt like you should be sitting on your porch, drinking a beer, smoking a fat one.
Moonshine.
Oh, moonshine. My bad. Moonshine.
Tapping your heel with a band just hit by your side.
I hope Metallica runs across this and they're just like, you motherfucker!
Please, they're just gonna sue us.
I
you know
know.
what? I want to do. I do want to say something about Metallica. The whole master thing aside, I get it. It's fine. I understand.
Yeah.
And I can even let Saint Anger slide as an asshole move, but but what pissed me off is, from what I understand, our local rock radio station has what they call March Madness.
Yeah.
March Mayhem.
March
We have March
Mayhem.
Mayhem, which is our own, kind of like March Madness, only with rock bands.
Yep.
And we've got the brackets and everything like that. 1 year, from what I understand, Metallica was in the area. They called in because they were going up against somebody in the finals, and they said that if they didn't win, that they would never play in Central Illinois ever again.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Now I can't verify whether this is true or not.
I think I actually remember this.
So it's like, you know what, man? Metallica can. I'm trying not to use the F word too much. You go ahead and say it. Do it for me. Come on, just this once. Nobody will hold it against you.
Dang it, no.
I'm trying to be nice
I
and
know
not say
you
the
are.
F word as much because people
I
go on me.
appreciate it.
All right,
And-
fine. Metallica can go fuck themselves. There. See,
There,
I said it.
okay.
It got said anyway.
I guess. But I thought another kind of prickish move on him was, where, what was it? What's drummer's name?
Lars.
Anyway, he decided to sue Napster. Anybody remember that? It was
I
like,
hope so. Otherwise, our listeners are way too young for us.
I know, right? Anyway, Lars sued Napster because he's like, they're getting our music, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, I get it, somewhat. But you know what I downloaded music for free? To see whether I want to even bother to buy the album. That's what I did it for. I was like, you know what? This came off this album? Oh, yeah, I think I might actually want to buy this. You know what? I can't do that no more. Anyway, that's my rant from,
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop.
I'm going to go into mine real quick. I don't really have any major rants for it, thank God. Because we're running short on time. We ran a little bit long. Again. We're good at that.
Oh,
sorry.
Go figure.
Okay,
Imagine that.
real quick here. The first band, if our viewers are too young to remember Napster, they're not going to remember these guys. Eve 6.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the first CDs I got that I could actually sit there and listen to every song.
Is still good.
Their first album, I got that. I listened to every song on that album. I love it. I still know some of their songs. I still have them in some of my playlists. And I still listen to that shit as much as possible because they were awesome.
They were.
Next up, and my most religious listen to would have been Slipknot. When I really finally started to fall into rock and or metal when I was in high school, Slipknot was the one that brought me into it. I saw the video for Wait and Bleed, loved the song, and thought this is badass and hardcore. And I jumped into metal right after that because I bought the Slipknot CD, listened, and loved the whole album.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Next up, would have had to be my favorite for a long time, Linkin Park.
Yes.
I got the first, technically 3 albums because they had a complete remix album.
Oh, yeah?
And I got...
I forgot about that.
I got a DVD of theirs. Then I got their Live in Texas DVD that came with the CD. Loved it all so much. Still a big fan of theirs. Just haven't had a chance to really get into their stuff much since, I think, after Meteora. Yeah, then after that was Mudvayne. I got deep into their Lost and Found album. I think that was one of their best damn albums ever. Granted, I love like the album with Mud on, or not Mud, Dig. Sorry, that was stupid. But yeah, with Dig, and then the other album with Death Blooms. I think they were different albums, but I can't remember. Those songs were awesome, but I love Lost and Found. And last but not least, and most recently, Shinedown.
Yes.
The last 3 albums.
Amazing.
Mean the world to me. I love listening to those things. Leave a Whisper was the first album. I just can't get as much into that one. It was a little too early of their stuff for me, even though it was like back when I just was getting into college.
Right.
But at the same time, I've listened to some of those songs for like 10 years now. Then we have the...
And I didn't even realize that they were around that long.
Yeah. Let's see. Then we had their Us and Them album. I don't know when that one came out, but I've listened to that entire album. All the songs are awesome. They're badass. Then there was Sound of Madness, which had, it's the Sound of Madness on it, and like an idiot because I can't think of the name of the song off the top of my head. That's a good album too. It has Diamond Eyes on there too.
Nice.
Alice, also a song that great album. But then there's the newest one, Amaryllis. So many great songs, including my favorite one that they played first at the concert, the Carnival Madness tour we went to about a month and a half ago, I think it was.
Yep.
Which was awesome seeing them.
It was.
Papa Roach in this moment, who were badass, and Me as Human, who were badass too.
Oh, yeah.
Lesser known bands, but we got to see all of them. And hearing Shinedown sing "I'm Not Alright" off of the Amaryllis album as their first song that night.
That was awesome. Oh my god.
It made my skin crawl in such a tingly good way.
I know, right?
So,
whoa!
Yeah. Well,
there.
It was already a great show, and then just hearing that song because it's one of the songs that's not as well known, so I was not expecting them to just start with that one.
Yeah,
it's like,
you got it. Yeah.
But anyway, that's a little rant. If you want to know more about our concert experience, feel free to ask us. It was pretty epic.
It was epic.
We have no problem talking about it because it helped us reminisce about our childhood a little, our high school years.
Our high school years.
My college years a little bit, thanks to Shinedown. And my more recent music loves, thanks to Skillet, in this moment is We as Human.
Yes.
If you don't know who those bands are, look them up.
Oh, boy.
In this moment, lead singer is quite the hottie. And it's a female, so thank God.
Yeah, I'd be concerned if
there was a whole Sylvester Stallone thing.
Yes,
but
I know.
Let's not get into that.
That was scary.
It's definitely time to wrap this shit up.
Yes.
Time to wrap this shit up for the second and final time for this, at the moment, morning.
Wow.
It is now, currently, 12:40 in the damn morning, Monday morning.
Oh,
so,
boy. I have to work at 8:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
Today.
So, yeah, we've still got to do a little bit of editing, get the video up, all that shit. So, I tell you what, ladies and fine folk, thanks for listening to the second part. And we love you even more.
We do.
Than the other guys.
You can
don't tell them it's a secret.
Yeah, we can have your kids, and we'll have your kids too.
No, I think you said that wrong. We have their kids. They can have our kids.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, yes. We can have each other's babies.
What he said. I'm so excited I can't even say it right.
Yeah. Hope you guys don't mind. We're not virgins, but I'm sure most people don't mind that, right?
Yeah, probably not.
And they wouldn't really for guys, so it's alright. But yeah, we love you guys for listening to us.
Way, unless you're hot.
Well, yeah, I won't say hot, but unless you're my type. We'll go with that.
Yeah, which for us are women.
Generally. So yeah.
Unless, Sylvester Stallone. Or somebody looks
I'm
like...
giving you the red card.
Oh!
We gotta finish it. Just battle again. So, sorry about that. You know how long there is. Anyway, thanks again for listening to the REPcast episode 4, part 2.
Part 2.
And our crazy rants through part 1 about aliens, our crazy rants about cloning, and
everything else moving.
Cryptozoology, ghosts, creeps and geeks, and anything else that we could possibly come up with tonight, and anything we'll come up with in the future. Thank you.
We will come up with more in the future.
Yep. Thank you. We love you a lot.
Yes,
Again,
we do.
canonically, blah, 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 and all that shit again. Thanks again for listening, and you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and go to bed already.
Yeah. Bye, invisible people. Get
Bye-bye.
out of here.
Bye-bye.
We're closed. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Lucian Barrows, Dr. Lucian Barrows, PhD, signing out.
And load failure 404, well, blue screening.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.